Sadhgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai, and welcome to Jagadambe Reads the Holy Books of India, Ramayana8. As you may remember, Valmiki taught the twin boys to sing the Ramayana, and they went around singing it. Once Rama was performing the great yagna by name Ashvamedha, the horse sacrifice. The young princes, dressed in tree bark and deerskin, went to the spot, and there, in the midst of the many rishis assembled, they sang the Ramayana. The rishis listened with tears in their eyes to this glorious tale filled with all the 9 emotions which a kavya should have. And they praised the youngsters. The fame of these 2 young boys was the only topic of conversation among the rishis and others who had heard them, and the news reached the ears of Rama, the king. He saw them too with their venas and heard their voices from a distance. His curiosity was soon kindled, and he sent for them. They came to his palace, and he welcomed them. In the council hall was seated Rama, surrounded by his ministers and his beloved brothers. He had assumed the garb proper for one performing the yagna, and he was charmed by the looks of the boys. He spoke to his brothers and said, "They glow with a radiance which is unearthly, and their voice is heavenly too. Let us listen to them singing." The song, which was accompanied by the hypnotic drone of the venas, filled the hall. As the tale progressed, Rama, who was seated on the throne, descended unobtrusively from there, step by step, and sat on the floor with the others, listening to the glorious kavya. He sat spellbound, and he listened as though it were the story of someone else, not himself. Tears were flowing from his eyes when he sat down to listen to the Ramayana. This story concerns the great line of kings, whose founder was Manu, and which has been immortalized by the name Ikshvaku, the son of Manu, and later by Sagara and others. Thus began the kavya, and Rama sat and listened as though he were a figure carved out of a block of marble. 4. Dasaratha and his grief. There was a country by name Koshal, and on the outskirts of the country flowed the river Sarayu. The land belonging to the Ikshvakus, the descendants of Manu, one of the Prajapatis. Koshal was beautiful, and it was famed for its beauty, the richness of its soil, its luscious greenery, the abundance of its crops, its wealth and prosperity. The kings of the solar race who had always ruled it were famed the world over for their valor and for their righteousness. The capital of the land of Koshal was Ayodhya. Tradition had it that Manu, the great lawgiver, had created the city. It was a wondrous city with flowering trees and with wide, beautiful roads, where the king rode every day. The roads were well laid out, and the royal pathway was ever beautiful, with flowers and scented water sprinkled on it all the time. Ayodhya was like Amaravati, the city of Indra. Ayodhya was ruled by Dasaratha, even as Amaravati was by Indra. Dasaratha had earned for himself the name Rajarshi, since he had always been a God-fearing man. He was a wise king. He had charmed his subjects by his good nature, as befitted a scion of the race of Ikshvaku. He had earned the praise of all the many rishis and good people for his prowess coupled with gentleness. He had performed all the yagnas which a king had to perform, and he was a king beloved by all. The people were happy and contented. None of them was jealous, and not one was avaricious. They were all rich, and they spoke nothing but the truth. Everyone was wealthy, and everyone was noble. Sadhgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you for coming. I hope you come again.